Demon Slayer Kimetsu no Yaiba The Hinokami Chronicles is a fighting game created by CyberConnect 2, the creators of the popular Naruto Ultimate Ninja Storm fighting game series. Demon Slayer plays out exactly like Ultimate Ninja Storm, except with the Demon Slayer franchise. As a fan of the anime, I was extremely excited when this game was announced, and pre-ordered it promptly. The hype was incredibly real, especially with the game coming out soon after the movie was released. I was hoping it would play out a smidgen like the Ultimate Ninja Storm games at the very least, but to my dismay, I was aggrieved by the state of how the game turned out.
This is taking a while.
The game is split up into different modes like most fighting games. There's a story mode that's separated into different chapters, and you can walk around and collect a few items and fight bosses. There's a versus mode where you can fight with your friends or against the AI, as well as being able to play against people online. There's a training mode where you can harness up your skills. There's a reward menu where you can use points gained by playing the game to unlock profile pictures for your online card, levels to fight on, characters to play as, etc. There's also an archive section to track everything you have unlocked.
They're dead. Worthless, incompetent demons.
The story plays out just like the anime. The game follows the first season as well as Mugen Train. The story is about a young boy named Tanjiro whose family has been slain by a demon. Tanjiro trains and joins the Demon Slayer Corps in the hopes of finding a cure to turn his sister, Nezuko, back into a human. The story is faithful to the source material, and the voice acting is amazing. Graphically, the game looks good too, borrowing an art style similar to the Ultimate Ninja Storm games, while maintaining a look specific to Demon Slayer. It almost feels as if you are just watching the show.
You must break into it and destroy them!
A mansion full of demons?
Though the spirit of the anime breathes through the essence of the game, the story mode is lifeless. This game is incredibly lackluster and shallow compared to the Ultimate Ninja Storm games on just about every front. In Ultimate Ninja Storm, the story is played out around the village so you can explore the village and do missions and run outside the village and find items and continue the story. It's actually fun exploring and doing stuff that's from the show and some funny what-if scenarios made for the game. We've had 4 Ultimate Ninja Storm games, so I figured Demon Slayer would be that and more. Demon Slayer feels so watered down. Since the story mainly doesn't take place all around the same area, playing through the story mode feels disjointed. The explorable areas are small and linear, and collectibles are haphazardly laid everywhere and provide no meaning or context. It almost feels like an afterthought.
A mansion. Is this the place? Huh?
There are kids here?
Story mode for Demon Slayer could have been so cool, but it feels like a slog. Some areas load and have you run in a straight line for 10 seconds before you get to another loading screen, where you do the same thing and then you have to fight a boss. It plays out like the anime, which is cool at some points, but with long cutscenes of everyone just talking, followed by unengaging gameplay, you are going to end up skipping anything that can be skipped. It is astonishingly boring. There are some button time minigames sprinkled throughout to break up the monotony, but it doesn't help much, and they are forgettable.
Thunder breathing. First form. Thunderclap and flash.
Fights during the story mode have ranks tied to them. Trying to complete these fights with the best rank can provide some fun. Some fights can be tricky and require some well thought out and planned strategies in order to gain an S rank. All the missions are actually quite easy to complete, but there are 2 or 3 in particular that provide a nice challenge if you are aiming to finish them on hard with an S rank.
Fight!
The fighting gameplay is great. It is what you would imagine a Demon Slayer fighting game would feel like. Characters can run around in a 3D space within an arena and can use their character-specific attacks to deal damage to their opponent until all of their health is gone. The actual combat is very simple, but with the help of the flashy visuals, the moves are fun to pull off. You have your basic normal and heavy attacks that you can use with varying button presses to pull off multiple combos. You also have skill attacks that can be used by themselves or with combos to keep the onslaught going. The skill attacks use up a meter, so they can't be spammed, but the meter regenerates eventually. You can dodge in different directions, or if you press the dodge button while you are standing still, you will dash to your opponent. You can block and parry incoming attacks if you are careful and anticipate any kind of retaliation. You also pick a support character, and you can summon them during battle to attack the enemy, or if you call them while you are being attacked, they will pull you out of the combo. So there is some strategy there where you need to determine if you should call them to save you, or to let your opponent finish off the combo on you to not waste the small meter the support character runs on, or to maybe strike back with your support character after the combo is finished on you. You can also switch the character you are playing as to your support character, and the character you were playing as will take up the role of support.
Please be careful.
Landing hits on the enemy increases the special bar. The special bar has 3 tiers, and depending on your situation, you have to approach how you want to use it differently. After filling it up at least once, you can activate a boost or an ultimate art. Boosting puts your character into a heightened state that makes you faster and increases your attack power for a short time. Spending another special bar while you are boosting will activate Surge, which makes you even more powerful, and your skill gauge doesn't deplete for the amount of time that Surge is active, so you can spam your skill attacks, or at least don't have to worry about not running out of them for a bit. Ultimate arts are big flashy finishing moves that deal a nice chunk of damage, but it is possible to dodge them, so if you don't time it right, you could end up losing a lot of your special gauge while your opponent still has all of theirs saved up. Finishing a battle off with an ultimate art move plays a short cutscene.
I will see my duty fulfilled! That's enough! We have a winner!
All these systems mixed in with being able to jump and perform air combos, using your support character in a timely fashion to cancel out your opponent's combos, breaking guards, and other small intricate details of fighting make the game fun to play in bursts. But the thing is, it just feels super simple and watered down in practice. Plus, on release, all of the characters were basically the same. There were too many sword fighters, so you were just swinging swords the entire time with really no way to differentiate anyone from each other, which made it kind of boring. Even the variety between the characters' special attacks is sort of hampered, since a lot of the characters use the water breathing technique, so most of the time you're just seeing water being thrown all over the place. Demon characters have been added to the game, which switches up some gameplay elements, but I feel like it's so tied down to the source material that nothing can really be done to the game to make it a viable fighting game option to play with friends, unless you are just big fans of the show. The fighting is also incredibly easy, even on harder difficulties. Some character combos are incredibly overpowered, and you can perform some ridiculous non-stop assaults that can let you instantly win. Even without the overpowered combos, the rock paper scissors system can also easily be turned into your favor. Once you understand the mechanics, it is easy to completely overturn the AI on its head and run circles around it. Even when playing matches online, you are going to run into the same characters over and over because of how fluent their attacks go together, stun-locking you into oblivion.
That's enough!
Demon Slayer, Kimetsu no Yaiba, the Hinokami Chronicles is a mess of a fighting game. The visuals look great in general, and specifically the special attacks and the sound and music is all what you would expect out of a Demon Slayer soundtrack, but everything else is simply not good. The story mode is an incredibly boring and underwhelming retelling of the anime with unsatisfying, uninventive linear exploring elements. You are constantly walking down a hallway and transition to a long cutscene, into another hallway, into another long cutscene. The story mode could have been so much cooler if it was more open world like the Naruto games. But what we got was a story component that was really layered thin because of the limitations of the source material's story. While the game is pretty fun to play fighting-wise, the game provides zero depth, and with two similar characters and easy battles, there's no incentive to keep coming back. Once you're done with it, you know you're done. Demon Slayer is cool for what it is, but what it is not cool.
Are you scared?
This is not. Let's go. Turn forward. Constant thoughts.
I give Demon Slayer Kimetsu no Yaiba, the Hinokami Chronicles, a 3 out of 10.
Water breathing. Third form. There's nowhere else to go but forward. Flowing dance.
That's enough. We have a winner.